Is Chapter 2, Session 7, beginning on the 24th of Hammer. The Year of Purple Dragons continues its enigmatic course in the forest kingdom of Cormyr. In the heart of the Hullock Forest, as the morning sun casts long shadows of the land, our tale resumes, with our band of heroes, much obliged, standing victorious in the aftermath of their recent heroics. Your deeds are already becoming the stuff of local legend. Your bravery and tenacity have not only saved Isla Stoneheart from the clutches of anti-reformist thugs, but you have also confronted and cleansed the beast of Hullock, a menace that had cast a long shadow over the town of Thunderstone. Yet, your sponsor, Haldar Huntsilver, remains under a cloud of suspicion. His name is whispered in hushed tones and wary glances, the accusations against him still fresh in the minds of the townsfolk. The unresolved kidnappings, for which he remains a key suspect, have darkened his reputation. Despite the political reforms he champions, the people of Thunderstone are torn, their trust shaken. The political landscape remains fraught with tension, a puzzle yet to be solved. Though weary from your recent battle, you stand tall at the heart of the forest. You have faced the beast and emerged victorious, but your journey is far from over. Strange occurrences continue to plague the town, causing unease among the townsfolk, and there are far too many missing children. The stakes remain high, and the challenges many. Your journey continues, your resolve unbroken. Welcome back to Cormyr in the Year of Purple Dragons. As the clearing begins to lighten with the dawn, you hear a faint coughing from over beneath the tree where you left your druid friend, or priest of Eldeth friend, Orin, yes.
Well, Fig will go over and try to help him back out of the hidey hole they stuck him into.
Did you succeed? It looks like you must have.
I think we did. The owlbear shrank and then went away.
That's good.
Are you feeling okay? I'm sorry we had to shove you back in that hole.
No, I appreciate it. I was not going to be much use to you in that fight. Eldeth's preachings are of pacifism, peace. The best I could do was give you some of who I am and pray that you would remain victorious. It seems Eldeth heard my prayers.
And we didn't even have to kill the owlbear.
That's good. The waters of this pond, I believe they are blessed, restorative in nature. You likely won't be able to carry more than a bottle without it turning sour, but as long as you do not abuse the blessing of the gods, you can likely return here whenever you need to refill a bottle.
That's very nice of you.
Nice of the gods, not of me. I'm just telling you what I suspect. I would encourage each of you to take a bottle. Just don't be greedy.
I'm not going to say no to that.
Val's going to gulp down the fresh water he just got.
Yeah, you're taking a drink from the spring? Or you mean the fresh water from the...
Yeah, I got to take advantage of all the fresh water.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you're going to drink from this, let me know.
Yeah, I'll drink from this too.
Okay.
And then fill them all.
Roll 2d4 plus 2. Yeah, it looks like that, Rob.
Did we get the bottle?
Yeah, you find a bottle floating, and now you have a bottle that you could keep a fairy in. You regain 7 hit points, Val.
Oh,
Sweet.
okay. Fig is also gonna drink some.
Actually, if you give me a sec, I will create a quick item for you guys to put on your sheet.
Oh, that was only 1d4 plus.
Well, roll another d4. You, well, it's
Okay.
not plus 10, it's plus 2. So you gain 8 hit points.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Fig is feeling much better now when she's almost full at hit points.
Do we still have the blessing active?
As long as you can see the grove.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What blessing I was forgetting?
Orin gave it to us right before the fight started.
Oh, okay. That was the bonus hit points, right?
Oh,
Yes.
the 10 hit points will stay until you take a long rest.
Oh, okay.
Or until they're used.
Whichever comes first.
Rob, is Corthynd drinking?
He's already full.
Is he drinking anyways?
He doesn't need things from the gods.
Okay.
Specifically with the warning of not being greedy. Del will not.
Anybody who does want to take a bottle with you, though, if you look under the items, not in the compendium, but just to the right of actors, there's a tab called items. Looks like a little suitcase. Under campaign magic items, there's a thing called grove water you can all see. You can put one of those
Oh, I
on your
love
sheet.
that. I love that you did that.
Hey, man, you gave me the
Sweet.
idea. It was a good icon.
Is it a fairy in a bottle?
No, it's just a water bottle, but it does look like a Zelda bottle. Anyways, yeah, you guys can each put one of those on your sheet. While you guys are all drinking and filling your bottles, Orin steps over to the deadfall branch that you guys used as part of the ritual, and he picks it up and begins whispering some words to it. You watch as it begins to slowly transform. It becomes more slender, a little more shapely, and a little bit of fresh growth begins forming up out of the top. He holds it out towards all of you. This is a gift from me. Thank you for your assistance.
I'm sorry, there was a squirrel crisis. What did he grow and hand to us?
He took the deadfall branch and he grew it into. It has some new growth. Some flowers are growing out of the top, and it looks a little more slender, like a walking staff.
Okay. Who's it handing it? Who is he handing it?
He is holding it out to all of you. One of you will have to decide who gets it.
Well, I don't think I should be the one to carry that. But it's lovely. Fig is kind of like just looking straight at Fowl. Like,
Yeah, Fal's just kind of looking at everyone else. Yeah, that's really nice. Anybody else need this? Because I could,
just take it.
Okay.
I'm not much one for nature. No
Oh,
offense.
well.
You're not much one for much of anything. No offense.
Mm.
I'll take it from Orin. Much obliged.
Yeah, I'll put this on your sheet here. Under your equipment section. Oh, whoops, I forgot to give it a weight. There we go. Now it's under your equipment section.
Thank you.
Can you see what it does?
Yes, I can.
Cool. May your future journey be blessed. Go with peace.
Yeah, Fal's just gonna kind of pause for a second as he holds it. And... Thank you.
Lauren, do you need any help getting back to your cabin?
No, thank you. I'll be all right.
Okay. And it's a big mess still. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Gives me something to do with the coming days. There is one thing I would ask you all to consider, though.
What's that?
May have cleansed the grove and righted the wrong here in Hulk, but there is still a question of who corrupted this place. Question that needs answering.
Well, we have
Much to
set
do.
out to solve a lot of mysteries, and that one won't be avoided, but do you have any ideas?
My only guess is a priest of Malar, Lord of the Hunt. But I don't know which one would have done this or why.
Am I still here?
Yes.
Yes? Did you not hear my response?
Hmm. Are Malorites currently... Like, I knew at some point they were tolerated within Cormyr for the hunt part.
Tolerated is still true.
Yeah.
Make a religion check for me, or a history check.
I think they're literally the same.
Depends on where you want to get the information from.
So you know that throughout Cormyr's history, Malorites have been reasonably accepted on and off as long as they remember that they're here to oversee the hunt and not here to hunt people.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's always been kind of a wary, guarded relationship. So, still probably true.
I missed whatever Orange said that was still probably true.
He said it was probably a Malorite, a priest of Malar, but he doesn't know why they would have done this.
Doesn't seem much of a sporting hunt.
Indeed.
Perhaps the one in question wanted to hunt the creature that we fought.
I find that unlikely. If that were the case, he wouldn't have plagued us for weeks. Unless the priest's magic got the better of him already, but no, I think that's unlikely. I think there was some other reason for this, some other meaning.
Like, I don't know, a character smearing campaign of local nobility that could possibly be helped by the fact that nobody can get any good food because there's a giant owlbear ravaging the woods.
That is oddly specific.
It is, isn't
Not
it?
as odd as you might think.
See. Whatever the case, thank you again. I am going to rest a while here in the grove and ensure that it is back in balance.
Might I make a suggestion?
Of course.
We are now officially adventuring in the area. Should trouble reassert itself, please look us up before venturing out on your own.
I assure you, young man, I have no intention of venturing out on my own. I did not seek trouble, nor do I intend to in the future. But I will remember all of you.
We'll let the guards know that the trouble has been taken care of.
He just nods his head.
As they're presumably starting to make their way out of the forest, Finn will turn to the others and be like, do any of you know if Thunderstone has Temple of Malar?
Do I know that?
Yeah.
Corthin and Val, you've been here the longest. You've spent the most time in Thunderstone directly. Thunderstone does not have any temples. It has shrines to some gods, but they're none like directly in the open. They're all kind of secret shrines or smaller shrines that are, only really the people who worship at those shrines know about their existence. There is not one of Malar that either of you is aware of.
Not one that tends to advertise their presence.
Thunderstones has no temples as such. Merely small shrines where those who worship them know of them. As I am not a Malarite myself, I don't know where a shrine of Malar would be.
Okay, well, I suppose we knew this wasn't going to be easy.
And while Corthin does not drink directly from the pond, he's not foolish enough to pass up taking a bottle of the water.
Yeah, I figure all of you will probably have one. In fact, I'm just going to put one
Yeah.
on Cassian's sheet because I'm sure that Cassian would take one too.
Yeah.
Do any of you take more than one?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No. My wisdom's not that low.
I will say he did say you could come back and get them again.
It's already in the notebook.
Yeah. So Anywho, Anything else you guys want to RP about before you head back to town? Anything you want to do other than head back to town?
On the way back to town, Dell would like to speak with Corthyndahast.
Okay.
Just while they're walking. Trying to think of how to start the conversation. So, Dell sort of trots up next to Corthyndahast and gives him a nod and says, I do hope you understand that my previous comments and such were made in jest, not meant to be serious. Although you do seem to have a lack of wanting to be familiar with most things in the area.
Corthyndahast will raise an eyebrow at that. I am, I admit, a newcomer to Cormyr. But I am determined to make the best of my time here, Tammarast.
Were you sent here, or that did not sound like this was by your choice?
He sighs. During the war, and anyone who's been anywhere near Cormyr will know that the war in general refers to the most recent encounter with the Sembians and the Shadowvar that happened, what was it, 7 years ago?
7.
It's the
7
same
years ago.
war that Fig's a veteran of.
Most of
As
you have
is.
some involvement in that war, yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in Cormanthyr, far, well, good distance to the northeast, with the elves in the reborn Myth-Janor. I was a scribe there, and I enjoyed my time in the libraries. Unfortunately, the Shadowvar saw fit to drop a city on top of ours. I did not evacuate in time. A portal brought me here. It may have been happenstance, but given my family's ties with the area, I don't believe so.
A portal appeared and you stepped through it, or were drawn through it.
When a floating mountain is falling upon your city and a portal shows up in front of you, the wise thing is to take that portal even if it leads to the abyss.
Not entirely sure most people would agree with that. Death might be preferable to time in the abyss unless you are more adept at planar travel than it sounded like.
I'm sure I would have been able to get out of the abyss eventually, but instead I landed upon a quite comfortable couch in my cousin's study within the royal castle.
And you are a scribe, but you also seem to have some knowledge of spells and working.
Oh, yes. Ever since my master and cousin, Ganrahast, thought that if I was going to be lounging about on his couch appearing from portals, I might as well learn a little bit of magic while I'm at it. So I've become his apprentice. That is why I'm in Thunderstone, He sent me here to connect more with the peoples of the land.
Interesting. And
Hey Rob, do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Can you roll just a charisma for me?
Oh no. It's gonna be bad.
I know. That's what the Oh Lord was. Just roll one for me.
It's not bad.
That's
Yeah?
that's for the -2.
That's good enough. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you. Carry on.
um,
I'm just imagining you two standing there now with like this expression, like Lakitu just dropped in on your conversation and said something and left again.
um, I have somewhat recently been drawn into the study of magics and spellcasting. Apparently, it's in my blood. Still something I'm getting used to. But should you wish to have somebody to discuss, I would be happy to.
So your magic is more in your blood then.
Does seem to be the way it is, yes. I'm not versed in the more arcane studies and such when I started throwing away around effects that probably are not something most humans can do.
Depends on where you come from, I suppose. I've heard of a farther land to the south, Haurua. Everyone there seems to be able to cast magic.
I am from this area. My family, well known in the land of Cormyr.
If it's in your blood and it just came about spontaneously, sounds like sorcery to me.
It is my understanding, yes.
Sorcerers can natively tap into the weave. It's a bit like cheating, really.
Eh,
I don't know if I envy you or pity you. I'll give it some thought.
Indeed, indeed. Also, one last thing. I hope you didn't feel like I was stepping on any toes by finishing the ritual for you.
He looks like he just ate something sour. As much as I would have liked to finish it myself, I will be the first to admit that I was unable to do that last part.
And I would have preferred to give you more time to attempt it, but considering the circumstances, I figured another person giving it a shot was not the worst possibility.
No, you've done the correct thing. To be completely honest, I was on my way toward you with the ritual. I had no way of knowing you had memorized the line.
Oh,
I'm glad you were able to complete it so that we would be able to wrap that up without further loss of life.
as I said, I've been interested in the study of the arcane recently, so it caught my attention and I was quite keen to, at least in the short term, keep it in my mind. Ask me in a week, I probably would not be able to tell you what we did, let alone the spell itself.
You did well.
Let us get back to town and start it on our next task.
Indeed. And while they're
Yeah.
walking as well, Corthin would ask about the staff from Fowl. Because he's got his magic eyes on. I'm assuming it's glowing.
Oh yeah, it is glowing. It is glowing. I believe it's enchantment. Let me go check that. Yeah, enchantment magic.
Yeah, and Fal's just smelling the new flowers on it. Oh, yeah, this thing feels good, man.
Of course, the druid finds a way to not stop and smell the flowers, but take them with them.
Do you have any ken of what it can do yet?
He just kind of pauses and kind of feels it for a second. Well, it seems to hum in my hands and makes me feel very calm. Also, does seem like it has some utility to it.
Are the flowers edible?
I don't know. We could try.
Anything's edible at least once.
I'll pick a flower and eat it, and then look at everyone else.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Tastes a little bitter. You managed to swallow it down, no problem. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dell is going
Cool.
to. Wait, let me double check.
Do I know what type of flowers these are?
Make a nature check.
Yeah. Okay.
Dell is going to use thaumaturgy to make whispers just very faintly in his ears for him to hear.
Nat 20.
Wow. They're called Feywild Foxglove. They are said to attract benevolent spirits. And you know that in the dark they kind of shimmer with a soft, ethereal light. It'll shed dim light 5 feet.
Ah. Sweet.
So, you just swallowed something from the Fey. Good job.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna open my mouth. Can you see any light?
Light?
Can we?
Make a
Considering he
perception
swallowed
check.
it, I doubt it.
One person can make a perception check as you look in his mouth.
Fig is absolutely doing that.
Fig, you look in his mouth. You do not see any light, but it does smell abnormal. I'll say that. It tickles your nose a little. It's a pleasant tickle. It doesn't smell like bad breath.
I can't see any light, but now you have perfume breath.
Nice. What are the whispers saying?
They were incomprehensible. It was just
Okay.
Just go, look at this guy with his perfume breath.
Ah. Nice.
like trying to listen to a TV show through a wall or something.
Well, you guys can have some if you want, but it's a bit bitter, and I think I'm feeling a little funny. Could be fun though.
I'll just make some muffins when we get back that aren't bitter and won't make you see things.
Where's the fun in that?
They're muffins.
Yes, but admittedly, muffins that make you see things would be more fun.
It really depends on what you see.
Bitter and makes you see things. I've been described like that in the past.
The past? Like last week?
Hmm.
Dale just kind of grins and then continues walking.
Anything else you guys want to do before you make it back?
Do we have a person that we wanted to speak to first, or something we needed to buy?
Well, we did have those 3 merchants that we needed to talk to because poltergeists?
What time of day is it?
It's still morning. By the time you get back, it'll probably be just before noon.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
We should-
before Hyson.
Who was it that it was those random people that talked about the beasts? We should report that in to Maeve, even though that's not one of the things she asked us to do. I'll at least go by and tell Kale.
Okay.
Let him know I cleaned. I did some of his work for him again.
So, just to clarify, is there anything else you guys want to do while you're walking back before you get back to Thunderstone?
Not that I can think of.
No.
Okay.
I want to see if I can gather some herbs and stuff.
Sure, you want to take some time gathering herbs? That's fine. You can make a nature or survival check for that. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Anything that might be good for magical components, like potions and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Would Val have shared the name of the flowers with Pig if she asked?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you all I know about them.
I can never find these rules. Rob, I'm going to save that for later. I will
Sure.
post-game let you know what you found.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, if there's nothing else, then you guys do make it back to Thunderstone a little before midday. Town seems to be just as thriving and bustling as it was. You can hear people going about their business, doing town things, yes.
No, never mind. Sorry.
Doing town things.
Yeah, it's a town doing town things.
That is what
Towns do
people in
things.
towns do.
Yep.
So we'll go and report the completion of the task.
To whom? You guys heading to see Maeve? Is that your goal? Or at least the Purple Dragons?
Yeah, I think we should at least
Purple
tell
dragons,
the
I
Purple
would
Dragon.
Okay, so you guys make your way back to the barracks. You guys make your way in, and As you head through the open door once more, the kind of scrawny fellow who was behind the counter looks up and says, "Oh, you're back. How may I help you?"
We would like to report that we have taken care of the beast in the forest that was preventing the hunters from able to hunt. And I just thought somebody should know that it's okay now.
I see. Well, I'm sure the townsfolk will be very pleased. Not an issue that we were personally looking into, but good.
Perhaps supplies can flow a little bit more freely from elsewhere now.
Yes, I'm sure the merchants will be very pleased, and the nobility, and the townsfolk. Yes. Well done. Good job.
Maybe we should tell the newspaper instead.
That makes sense.
Doesn't matter who we've told, as long as the guards are aware of it, they won't have to deal with it.
But people can't take advantage of something they aren't aware is resolved.
We have to speak with merchants anyways. We can let them know then. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Is that everything?
For now, I'm sure we'll be back to annoy you again.
Yes, I'm sure you will. Have a good day. Goodbye now. Toodaloo. Ta-ta. Cheerio.
Hi,
Many
goodbye
more
now.
of those of you got. Fig very much would like to go to the newspaper office to tell them also because
Sure. You guys want to head to the Gazette?
if I don't get a newspaper, Kevin's going to kill me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, really?
He's been so excited for this. Yes, let's go to the Gazette.
Oh, right, because you wanted to get one.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, where did these notes go? Oh. Here. Aha. Found it. Okay. So you guys head to the Gazette. Cormyr Gazette sits squat and charming in the heart of Thunderstone, a two-story building of russet brick and weathered timber. Wide, glass-paned windows wink with the reflection of the bustling town, and above the front door swings a well-worn sign bearing the proud emblem of a stylized inky quill. Do you guys head in, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Inside, the Cormyr Gazette welcomes visitors with a warm, enchanting lobby. The walls are adorned with past editions under protective enchantments, glowing faintly with a magical luminescence. Behind a polished oak counter, softly glowing orbs of magical energy float about, whirling in a mesmerizing dance as they magically transcribe stories onto parchment, filling the air with a comforting scent of ink and old paper. As you step into the lobby, your eyes are immediately drawn to a welcoming figure at the front desk. Alistair Quill, according to the name tag in front of him, with his characteristic salt and pepper beard and half-moon spectacles, warmly greets you with a twinkle in his eye. Hello. Perched on the desk, beside him, is a Tressin, a winged cat with black, inky colored feathers and fur, observing the surroundings with an uncanny alertness. Alistair's space spills over around the lobby, stacks of parchment and loose ink pots, revealing the organized chaos of the news business. And I have a picture for you of the cat.
I love him.
Big randomly starts chasing it around the shop.
The cat,
No, she's very well
That's
trained.
illegal.
yeah, don't do that.
She's not going to. She will obviously notice the cat and just be like, because she thinks it's cute.
But Alistair looks up as all of you enter and says, "Ah, Welcome to the Gazette. How can I help you?
I like your cat.
The cat just kind of stretches and stands up and says to you, I like you too. At least assuming you're going to buy one of my papers.
Well, I'm going to buy a paper. If it's yours, then yes, yours. You talk.
Of course I talk. I'm a Tressum.
Never been interested before. She's just like super duper enchanted and completely lost the plot of what she was doing.
Alistair, fetch a paper for them. And Alistair just nods and says, of course, Inkwell. Turns around and fetches a paper, places it down. That'll be 1 silver piece, please.
You're a talking cat and your name is Inkwell.
I am also the editor of the paper.
She's clearly just like, this is the coolest cat I've ever met ever. We killed an owlbear. Well, we didn't kill it. We drove off an owlbear that was killing people in the woods. Oh, you silver? Yes? Oh. It's
1
very
silver.
tragic. She will dig one out of her pocket. I like how all of the boys are letting her just twist in the wind here.
Yeah, Corthyn's watching with a very bemused expression.
And Alistair will take the silver piece from you.
I can see why a cat would be interested in editing the news. There's quite a lot of fishy situations out there.
Now Fig is giving him a look like stereotypical animal jokes are not funny.
Inkwell also gives you a look like he is very displeased. He just kind of shakes his wings a little and says, Alistair, deal with them, and then turns and flies off towards the back.
What did Alistair think of the joke, though?
Alistair's just chuckling. He offers you the
sorry
paper.
If we upset your friend, I've never seen anything
Oh,
like
don't
him.
worry about him. He's easily ruffled. Inkwell's very good at what he does, but he thinks he's better than everyone. You know cats.
Well, he is a cat, so...
Precisely. But here's this week's copy of the paper.
Thank you so much. And I mentioned the owlbear thing just because we were hoping that if there were people who were avoiding hunting because of it, you could get that out to them better than we could. And they could go back to
Yes, about that. And he reaches over and grabs a notepad and a quill and says, please, will you tell me what happened?
Oh, I can do better for you. And she digs her notebook out and shows it to her.
And he will literally word for word copy everything in your notebook down into his, including the little inscription, the little sketches.
And I will helpfully make a minor illusion of the owlbear as it was corrupted.
Oh, that's very helpful. And he'll draw a picture of it from several different angles.
Yeah, Fig is not a professional artist, so...
And once he's done with all of that, he will say, and you lot, what are your names? How will I know to credit you?
Well, as a company, we're much obliged.
Much obliged for what?
No, that's the name. Much obliged.
Oh! Very clever. He writes that down.
And I will leave it to my friends if they want to introduce themselves. But I am Figwyn Hawklin.
Figwyn Hawklin, of House Hawklin, I presume.
Yes.
Aha. Mm-hmm. And the rest of you?
Delryar Tammarast.
Of House Tammarast, 2 nobles.
Corthynd
No one else?
looks reluctant to speak. but he
Fig
does
will.
eventually
Oh,
say,
I was before he speaks. Fig
"Okay, yep.
will very helpfully put a hand on his shoulder and say, "It's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to."
Indeed, I can simply report you as an anonymous member of Much Obliged.
Corthyndahast
Oh, we have a
Tanthul."
Dehast. And a Tanthul. Well, well, well. He writes that down. Interesting. And you, sir? Care to share your name?
Yes, Val.
Val. Any surname?
Nope.
Val of Much Obliged. Well, it has been a joy to meet all of you. Please enjoy the paper, and if you have any more news that you'd like to share with the populace, I will see what I can do to get it past Inkwell's keen, scrupulous gaze. I will say, this paper is all about Cormyr. It's not just the local. We unfortunately don't have the funding for a local-only paper these days, but I hope you will find the articles quite exciting.
Can Inkwell be bribed?
Can Inkwell be bribed? Well, I will tell you that providing a good story is a good start, but he does like fish.
Corthin like drops his mouth open in a smile that like, see my pun? It makes sense now.
Well, now Fig has her evening reading.
Well, I do apologize for ruffling Inkwell's feathers, but hopefully someday I can balance the scales.
Ah, dear. Come back, Tanthul. Please do come back.
All right, if you guys end up letting Fig pick where we're going, again, we're going to the pastry shop first.
Oh, we just have to visit the merchants, so any of them is really fine, right? Like, so pastry shop's fine, but wouldn't it be best to say that the best for last?
She's a dog. She doesn't know how to do that.
I don't know. All the muffin talk has been convincing.
Yeah, the closer we get to the pastry shop, even if it's not the first one we're going to, the more she just like visibly looks like she should have like a little nubbin tail going about 40 miles an hour.
Is she actively reading the paper?
Not while she's walking.
Like, passed off. Because she's not reading it. Corthin would ask to read it while they walk.
Oh, yeah. She does not trust her ability to walk and read at the same time. She had it folded up in her journal, but she'll take it out and give it to Corthin, as long as he's going to give it back to her at some point.
He is glancing over at Cassian now. Which is unfortunate that Cassian's not here. But I'll save that for next time.
Yeah. I take it you saw the...
Mm-hmm. The whole there's a Seasilver heir missing. How strange.
Heiress.
Yeah, he mentioned a sister.
All right, so you guys are heading to Thistleberry Delights.
That is a wonderful name.
Barring anybody rerouting me, yes, that's where we're going then.
Okie doke. Let's see here. Thistleberry Delights sits at the heart of Thunderstone, its timber-framed exterior sporting a cheerful coat of lilac paint. Above the arched oak door, a hanging sign swings gently depicting a plump, ruby-red berry nestled in a flaky pastry. The shop's windows, adorned with intricate wooden latticework, offer glimpses of the tempting wares within, while the sweet aroma of baking dough and simmering fruit wafts into the street, an irresistible invitation to passers-by. Inside, the shop is a cozy haven of warmth and sweetness. Rustic wooden shelves lining the walls are laden with mouth-watering arrays of pastries from delicate, sugar-dusted scones to hearty, meat-filled pies. The air is filled with the comforting scent of fresh bread and cinnamon, punctuated by the occasional fruity note of simmering thistleberries. Behind a polished counter, the friendly shop owner, a rotund woman with a perpetual flour-smudged apron, serves customers with a twinkle in her eye and a jolly laugh that echoes through the space, making Thistleberry Delights not just a bakery, but a slice of home.
I thought you were going to say she was serving cunt.
I also thought that.
It's a different
It's like-
shop.
Oh. Yeah, Fig is like apoplectic with just like, oh, this is everything I ever wanted out of a spacious shop.
As you guys step in, the lady behind the counter zeroes in on Fig and just leans forward and says, "Welcome, dearie. Would you like a pastry?"
She's clearly like, how do I pick out of all of these amazing looking things? Completely forgotten her mission. There's food, and it's pastries.
Actually, we were here on a different matter.
Oh,
They could be both matters. We could get pastries. You have muffins?
You're welcome to get pastries, my friend, but that isn't technically why we came here.
There's been mention of an odd disturbance.
disturbance? And then she does suddenly start coughing and, like, covers her mouth and holds up a hand to try and excuse herself. Excuse me, a disturbance?
Right? That's what we're...
The
Yeah,
baker's home.
that disturbance.
Fig thinks about it for a second, and then she digs in her backpack and takes her bottle of grove water and offers it to Mrs. Thistleberry.
Oh, as if she's sick.
What is this?
It's restorative water. Maybe it'll help with the baker's lung.
How did you know? How did...
We're here to investigate why it's happening.
Oh! Well, I would imagine it's
I'm-
because I spend all day among the flower.
Well, it was given to us in a list of strange occurrences that have been happening around town.
And you say this water will cure me?
It won't hurt you. I don't know if it'll cure you, but it might make you feel better.
Well, I suppose water is water, and she uncorks it, has a little sniff. Smells calming. Tilts it back, drinks it down, places the empty glass back on the counter. Very nice water.
If you have the time, you should tell Oren Greenleaf that his grove makes nice water.
All right. Well, thank you. Anyhow, Well, I suppose there was one thing that I might say. If you're really investigating the disturbances, I did witness one.
Tell us everything you saw.
Well,
She gets her little book out.
of course, I contracted this baker's a few days ago. I don't remember exactly the day, maybe 3-4 days. And I went to a local apothecary I know. It's the Black Rose. It's just across the way and down the street. Thaddeus Blackrose is the owner of the apothecary. Good man, very kind, and his apprentice was in, and he seemed to be having some trouble while I was there, and, oh, poor Thaddeus, I'm afraid. His apprentice caused an entire cabinet of glass vials to spill on the floor and break, which Well, it seemed very out of character for his apprentice. Poor boy is usually much more, well, cautious. I do hope Thaddeus won't be too hard on the lad.
Was the apothecary one of the 3 places we'd heard about disturbances
No.
at? Hmm. We may go and have a talk with him.
Yes,
Perhaps we can help.
maybe you should. You know, my throat doesn't feel so bad anymore.
I hope it helps, even if it's just a little bit.
If I may, I would like to repay your kindness. Yes. Blackberry.
Could just
And she reaches down and pulls out a pastry. It is I'm bad at this. It's the thing that's got the jammy bit in the middle with the folded over bits. Flaky.
Jammy bit in the middle with the folded over bits.
Yeah. It's a flaky
like a
pastry.
turnover.
Yeah, that's it. One of those. Blackberry. And she just hands it to you, Fig.
Fig taking this like it's made out of pure gold. Are you sure?
Oh, yes.
Oh, thank you. And
Besides, I'm fairly certain once you eat that, you'll decide you want more.
she's gonna have the best time of her life enjoying that blackberry turnover.
You know, there might be one other thing.
Yes.
Just the day before, or maybe the day of, that my throat started hurting, that my chest started hurting. Elric Highgarden came to visit, and I don't recall what he ordered, but I recall thinking that the coin he paid with was peculiar. I don't remember why, though.
Do you still have it?
No, well, it's possible, but I don't think so. Usually when I go to do my own shopping, I'll take from the top, you know. It's easier that way.
Did you have that coin with you when you went to the apothecary?
It's possible, but I can't guarantee it.
It's Elliot Highgarden?
Elric.
Elric Highgarden. Oh, we've heard that name elsewhere, haven't we? It's not the first time I remember hearing that.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, I seem to have misplaced the notes I took before I got the real notebooks, so...
Highgarden is the tailor.
Yeah, he's one of the other people that we're supposed to...
Oh!
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, 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 ho. Right. Thank you. Oh, man.
Had a rack of clothing fall apart or something.
Is there anything in the shop made with persimmon?
Yes.
Corthyndah's just like looking around at labels and whatnots, and
Yes, absolutely.
he will buy a persimmon treat for himself.
That'll be 1 silver.
Yeah, he happily hands it over. 1 silver falcon.
There are so many handwritten typos in these notes this session because my brain is not here. Dave, are you still using that thing that artificially makes you make eye contact with the camera?
Maybe.
You're staring at me, and I hate it.
Anyways,
It's great.
what do you guys want to do next?
Well, once we leave the shop, Corthyndahast would say we can either it was the tailor and what was the other merchant that we already knew?
The owner of the Dragon's Den where we met.
Right. It's the innkeeper, the dragon's den. They're the
Oh yeah, because the ale.
tailor, the inn or the tavern, and then now we have the apothecary.
By the way, on the way out, Big is absolutely going to buy like 2 thistleberry tarts because
Those will each be a silver.
I would suggest we go to the tavern actually, because we know right now a vague chain of events, Elric to pastry shop to alchemy.
I think we should actually go to the alchemist and ask him if he went to the tavern the night that we were there. Because I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking, that there's like
Somewhere
cursed
in
coin.
that chain, the tavern ends up with it. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. We can do that too. Like it was just a toss up of which one of the 3 we go to.
Yeah.
Might as well go to the alchemy. Sure.
So you're heading to Black Rose Alchemy? Apothecary?
I think
Yeah.
that would be wise.
Okay, one moment. Black Rose Apothecary is a quaint brick building with an inky black rose painted over the door. The air around it is tinged with a curious scent of herbs, spices, and something faintly mystical. Inside, shelves brimming with glass jars line the walls, each filled with colorful powders, dried plants, and mysterious liquids. The shop's owner, a sage-like figure with a kindly demeanor, moves between concoctions with a practiced ease, looking over his remedies and offering advice to various customers that are already inside. As you guys get to the counter, he looks up and says, "Ah, hello. How may I help you?"
We're here to investigate the chain of strange disturbances that have been happening to the merchants here.
Strange occurrences. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Miss Thistleberry told us that your apprentice had some uncharacteristic trouble with a rack of glass vials.
Lysander Willowbrook. My former apprentice, you mean?
Well, we're beginning to think it might not have been his fault.
What?
When Madame Thistleberry came to see you, did she buy anything?
Well, yes, she asked for a remedy for her baker's lung.
Did she pay with a coin that struck you as particularly strange?
I don't recall anything strange about her payment, but I do recall her visiting 3 days ago, just as that fool of an apprentice manhandled a cupboard and spilled its contents, if I'm honest.
And after that happened, did you, I don't know, go to the Dragon's Den to blow off some steam?
Well, no, I didn't have time. The vials were empty, but it still made a horrible mess. That is a great deal of glass that I had to clean up on the floor, you know.
Did your apprentice go?
I don't know where he went once I fired him from my employ.
Did your apprentice take the payment?
From Maribel? No.
Yes. So it's not distributed by touch then. And he's just standing there stroking his goatee, completely lost in his thoughts right now.
Do you sell glasswork or anything to the Dragon's Den?
No. I don't know why they would wish anything I have. Well, I suppose it's possible that Jasper came in to buy some herbs, but I don't recall him being here recently, and most of his herbs don't come from here. We deal in the more arcane form of herbs than he usually needs for his cooking.
And he just said it was 3 days ago that she bought the...
That's correct. 3 days.
Would you possibly still have your... any payment she may have made to you from 3 days ago?
Oh, that's highly unlikely. I regularly go and exchange it.
Can you just give me a rough idea of what you did the day the shelf collapsed?
Well, I came in the morning and reviewed all of the wares. It was a cataloging morning, so we opened late that day. Spent the day going through, making sure we had everything we needed. We were short on... what was it? Sage, I believe. Short on sage, so I asked the lad to fetch a bit more and refill it. And while he was doing so, Maribel came in and... well, he spilled everything. I closed shop early as a result, and... well, didn't make a lot of money that day, if I will say honestly. Cleaned up. The next day, I opened again. Everything went fine. Normal day.
So you just cleaned up and went home?
Well, you say that like it's a small thing to clean up.
I do
50
not mean
glass vials falling on the floor.
at all to disparage how much work you did. I'm just trying to track what physical locations you were in.
Here, my home, and I probably went to an eatery somewhere along the way.
Do you happen to live near the Dragon's Den? Would you have eaten there?
No, I don't tend to eat at rough taverns.
I know that it was an expensive mistake, but it seems as if it was uncharacteristic for Lysander to have broken that many vials at once.
Well, it was. He's normally such a careful and cautious child, but... well, 50 vials is very expensive. It's a lot of money that day.
Is he otherwise well at his job?
As good as
Previous
anyone.
job?
It's not exactly a difficult job restocking herbs, is it?
If we were to somehow prove that he was not at fault, I think my friend is getting at, would you be willing to take him back on?
If you can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Lysander was in no way responsible for spilling those, first off, I would be a bit shocked, and second off, of course I would be willing to reconsider his contract. He was a bright lad and could have made a good future apothecary.
What did you say his surname was? I'm sorry.
Willowbrook. Lysander Willowbrook.
You know where we might be able to find him?
I imagine at his home, but I don't know where that is. He came looking for a job from me.
Fair enough. The reason why we asked about currency is we're currently going under the supposition that there is some sort of cursed, for lack of a better word, coin being distributed.
Well, that
Every
seems...
location- Every location that has had troubles seems to have come in contact with this currency.
well, I suppose that's possible, but it seems unlikely to me.
Well, I would have told you that a giant mystically powered owlbear with magical claws was not likely to be found in the Hullock Wood, but that's what we found.
You found a giant owlbear in the Hullock Forest.
Yes,
I thought all the owlbears were extinct.
nobody told that one.
Well, Given the elves I heard are nearby soon, I imagine it'll be hunted as well.
Are the elves here for hunting?
Well, why else would they return to Cormyr? I don't honestly
Perhaps
know, I just read about it in the paper.
he'll hand the paper back to you, pointing out the specific article. Perhaps they're here to call due their renter's fee.
Renter's fee?
This is
You
their
think-
country, after all, once upon a time.
You think the Obaskiers pay rent?
I think he was being sarcastic.
Oh. You're not very good at sarcasm, are you?
Hmm.
Sarcasm is at least half on the burden of the receiver.
Ooh.
Are you interested in any potions?
Interested, yes. Able to afford currently, no. I will be back, though.
I'm sure you will be.
Yes, you do very good work.
Of course I do. The finest apothecary in town.
How many apothecaries are in town? Out of that's not me asking character. That's Corthin trying to remember how many apothecaries are in.
Make an intelligence check. Or wisdom. There are 2.
Well, okay, then I'll let him have his boasting.
While we're here, I'd like to take a look at some stuff. Do you have any recipes and components for health potions?
Recipes? Why would I sell my trade secrets, boy?
I'm just asking. I'm sure I could never make one as good as you, but
Of
perhaps
course you
if I was...
couldn't. I am interested in teaching, but only to an apprentice. Now, if you're looking for the ingredients to my particular recipe, I do have them on hand, yes, but I would much rather sell you a completed potion.
I'm sure you would. How much would the components cost, though?
Which components would that be?
All the components for the health potion.
Which are?
Yes. Maybe I'll ask your fired apprentice.
Luckily, I hadn't taught him that one yet.
I see. All right.
Do come back when you've got a little coin to spend and are interested in actually being customers and not merely botherers.
Of course, of course. You wouldn't be interested in pure water from the heart of the Hulk, would you?
Why would I be interested in that?
Just passing curiosity. And then leaves.
You can see, like, the rest of you can see as Corthin starts to leave, the shopkeeper, Thaddeus, just kind of, like, looks at him like, I feel like I missed something. I feel like that was important. You emerge back into town center, basically, near the Thunderstone of the town's namesake. It's a little after high sun now, maybe approaching 1 hour past high sun.
Kevin, I can't get the Grove water to go away off my sheet now.
If you go to your inventory and click the lock in the top right,
Oh, there it is. Okay.
and then that'll put a little trash can on the row,
Thank you.
and then you can click the trash can. There you go. It
Still
prevents you from
getting used to
accidentally
numbers.
removing things from your sheet. Anywho, so yeah, it's a little past high sun. Still plenty of day left. What would you guys like to do?
I don't know about the rest of you, but perhaps our next stop can be the tavern. I could use a bite and 2 birds.
Yes, it would be nice to know if they have this alleged coin.
That works for me.
You guys make your way back to the tavern.
Excellent opportunity for Fig to also read the paper.
Yeah. So you guys arrive back, and as you enter, Lily is here on duty again, and she smiles when she sees all of you and comes up and greets you and says, "Oh, welcome back. Will you be having the stew again?"
Are there other options?
Well, no,
Then
not
yes.
currently. Stew it is. Bowl for you. Anyone else?
That sounds lovely, thank you.
You, sir? And you, sir?
Do you happen to have any eggs?
I'm afraid not. They've been a bit sparse thanks to the whole trouble brewing in the forest, I'm afraid.
Well,
Oh,
that would be easier to solve then, since we've taken care of it.
Oh!
Perhaps
Well,
tomorrow
aren't you the brave
we can get some
adventurers? Maybe so. Maybe so. It will probably take a bit of time for them to build back up, you know, but...
Well, I mean, we finished it off this morning quite early. Perhaps by tomorrow morning.
Well, maybe, but I understand that chickens don't lay when they're nervous.
Not to mention it then has to flow through, you know, the townsfolk, all of the shops and the people in need, and the bakers will probably get first hand on the eggs because they use them for baking, but... Still, it is
Perhaps
wonderful to know.
Perhaps you should look into getting your own chicken to Delryar.
They don't make the best traveling companions, I understand.
Oh, I don't know why you'd say that. I once had a chicken follow me around for a week. It was like a lovely little pet.
Did it have a little hat on it?
No, it did not have
Did
a
you
hat.
leave the town?
Well, no, but...
Now I'm thinking of, like, imagine a chicken as a familiar.
I mean, roosters got them nasty claws on the back of their legs. Right? What do they call them? Spurs?
Anyhow, will you be having the stew then?
Yes.
And you, sir?
Yes, I'll have a stew.
4 stews and an ale all around, I presume?
I think I'll just take some water for today.
Water for you.
Yes. Tea?
Tea? We
I'm
have
asking
water that we could boil, and then you could
I-
put some leaves in it.
Well, I don't have any. Okay. Ale it is, I suppose.
And you too?
Ale would be wonderful.
Yeah, I've had way too much water today. I'll do an ale.
3 ales, 1 water, 4 stews, coming right up. I'll be right back. Oh, and just a small question. Jasper, he's the owner of the place. He wanted me to ask if you came back. Kindly, could you warn me if you're going to be starting any more fights? We appreciate what you did and all that, but, you know, it would be nice to know. She just gives you a wink and then turns to go.
We will give you as much advance notice as we have.
The next time, I'll be sure to do this. And he points a finger up, and there's glowing words over his head that says, "Fight in progress."
She just laughs as she's walking away from the table.
So Fig is now reading paper.
Anything else you guys want to do or talk about while you're sitting down?
The weather looking like, Fig?
As we advance into the final third of Hammer, the chill of winter's embrace continues to be felt across Cormyr. though as always, we're safe from the heavy snows seen in harsher climates. Cizali and her environs can expect temperate conditions, while our dear readers in the countryside should bundle up in preparation for brisker conditions. What part of
You
are we
guys
in
are.
Suzales?
You guys are. No, you're not in Cizale. You
North
are
of
in
west,
northeast
northeast.
Cormyr.
Okay. So then she skips down to northern Cormyr. Expect skies to be mostly clouded over with the possibility of sleet or freezing drizzle. Steady northern wind will cut through even the thickest cloaks, making the air feel quite crisp indeed. Residents near the Hullock Forest and the town of Eveningstar should keep a watchful eye on conditions and be prepared for the chance of slick and icy roadways.
Damn.
So it's going to be cold and wet, like winter often is.
And cloudy. All right. Thanks.
No problem.
Oh, abyssal chickens can be familiars. That doesn't look like a chicken. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Like the 3 cockatoos.
Anything else you guys are talking about at the table?
Abyssal chickens, apparently.
Apparently.
We could like discuss the events that happened here while the waitress is coming back. Maybe that'll be like an inn.
Yeah, if you guys want to be discussing that while she's coming back, that's fine.
I don't have anything particular to talk with any of the party about.
Right. Well, she does come back just a few minutes later, carrying all of your stews and ales, lays them out in front of you one by one, and of course your water dull.
Did the kitchen or the back room get all cleaned up?
Oh, you mean from the spell? Yeah, I did. Jasper was a bit angry about that, but you know, nothing for it. Accidents happen, they say.
Is there any evidence of what caused the accident, or just the shelf fell?
A shelf broke and down came tumbling all of the ale. Unfortunately, it was a fresh delivery too. It just been put in. Jasper thinks that the lad what put them in maybe didn't do a good job of lashing them down, but I don't know.
Do you happen to know who the delivery person was?
I might. He's a dwarven fellow. Stocky, thick beard. I don't remember his name, but Jasper would.
It's Jasper, yeah?
Well, of course he is. He owns the place. He lives here. Would you like me to fetch him?
Yes, I think that would be good. There's been a series of very strange occurrences, and your ale spill might be part of it.
Well, I'm sure he'd love to have someone to blame if you are offering.
That's what we do best, find people to blame.
Well, that sounds wonderful then. I'll be right back with him. Well, right back being a bit of a misnomer. It'll be a few minutes, I'm sure. Enjoy your stews.
Thank you.
And she'll turn and head for the back. It's maybe 10 minutes later that she comes back with a tall, somewhat heavy-set gentleman, brown hair that's fading to gray on the tips.
This is Skillet Dude.
No, this is a totally different guy.
Okay.
Not nearly as large as Skillet Dude. He looks a little... This guy looks a little kinder, and he's got wrinkles in his features. He's clearly getting a little older, and he approaches the table and says, good afternoon. Lily says you asked to speak to me. Something about the barrels that spilled?
Yes, we've been investigating some strange occurrences and think your barrels might be involved. Do you remember who delivered them?
Well, that'd be Hagram. He brings all of our ale deliveries.
Which brewery is he affiliated with?
House Hillor has a local brewery.
What do I, out of character, know about House Hiller?
I mean, not a lot. Their seat is in Arabelle. They're a middling noble family. They're kind of known for their breweries.
Are they dwarves?
Are they dwarves? No. But clearly Hagram is.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
People who are not dwarves can employ dwarves.
yes, exactly.
What?
I was just
That
trying to
seems
figure
crazy.
out if Hagram was one of the noble. Is House Hiller a name I would recognize for, say, people who have a vested stake in fucking with our patron?
Make an insight check on that.
Great.
You can't think of any reason why House Hiller would want to fuck with Hunt Silver.
Do you know if Lysander, what was the last name?
Willowbrook.
Willowbrook. Lysander Willowbrook has been in recently.
Willowbrook. Can't say that he has.
Or
Can't say that I really know him that well, though, either. I think I've met him once, maybe.
Elric Highgarden.
Elric Highgarden. The
He's
tailor.
the apostle. Oh, nope, that's the wrong name. Thaddeus Blackrose.
Thaddeus Blackrose does not come to my establishment.
More the shame for him. You have excellent stew.
I agree, and I appreciate you saying so, but Thaddeus believes he's too good for the common riffraff. Thinks himself a noble sometimes, I believe.
Believes he's too good for the uncommon riffraff, too.
I suppose you all, do look a little fancy. Oh my. I apologize. I did not realize.
It's fine.
Well, if there's anything else I can do for you.
Well, how do you manage payments when they come in? Because the reason I ask, we're beginning to suspect that there may be some kind of cursed currency in circulation causing these problems.
Well, when Hagram brings me the order, I hand him a pouch of coin. Well, it's a box, really. There's a pouch in the
Other
box.
payments?
The box is locked.
Payments to you, not from you.
Well, but perhaps the coin acted up as it was being passed.
Payments to me? You mean like when customers provide coin? They go
Yes.
into my... I'm really not comfortable talking about that, actually.
You don't need to. We just need to know if there was a coin that you noticed or Lily noticed that passed through your hands that seemed different.
And he turns to Lily and she just shrugs, gives a little shake of her head, and then he turns back to you and says, I'm sorry. We see so many coins in a day.
Of course. If you do find something like that, you'd let us know.
Sure, I suppose if I see you again. And Lily just kind of leans forward and says, I would.
Just set it aside. We'd be happy to trade an equal amount of currency.
Oh, yes, I don't mean to take your profits at all. I'm just... If there's something out there that's causing trouble for the merchants in Cormyr, we would like to get it off the street.
And that it would be appreciated if that's truly what's going on. I'll take a look through what I've got, but, well, I'll let Lily know if I find anything.
Thank you.
If there's nothing else, I've got a business to run.
Fig kind of looks around like she's exhausted her line of questioning.
How much for the stews and ales?
Well, those are on the house. Well, not on the house. You're covered, though.
Oh, please, take this. I'm gonna give her... one silver falcon.
She gently puts her hands around yours and closes your hands over the coin and says, Lord Hunt Silver already paid for you.
Oh, this is just a tip for the service, outside of his payment.
Oh, well, thank you then. And she slides the coin back out of your hand. I appreciate it.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Awesome.
Is something the
What?
matter?
Oh. Nope. Just
Alright.
forgot something.
Alright. Well, is there anything else I can do for all of you? Right then, I'll be back in just a bit to check on you. Enjoy your ales. Enjoy your stew.
Damn it, guys, I was gonna try and see where she put the coin.
Clever attempt.
Yeah, but... a tip.
A tip's a tip.
Right in the pocket.
Well, at least she is a good waitress, so
Yeah, she does deserve it.
There doesn't seem to be anything overtly connecting this place to the other occasions.
not yet, but honestly, I can't blame a tavern owner for not keeping track of every coin and face that passes through.
The way that coin changes hands, it could easily have been a surreptitious route.
Or maybe it doesn't need to change hands at all, and just somebody had it in their pocket.
Also one option.
Assuming this theory is correct at all.
So where shall we head to next?
We still have not visited Elric. The other alternative is this dwarf with the
Or
ale
Lysander.
distribution. Or Lysander.
Well, an ale cart's probably easier to find than one person.
Right now we know the current chain that we have started with Elric. If we question him, we might be able to find out where he got the coin.
That's a good point.
That gets my vote.
So where are you guys heading next?
The tailor shop.
Okay. Back to town center. Elric Highgarden's shop is an elegant establishment with a tasteful slate gray facade and polished brass nameplate. The display window hosts a mannequin attired in the latest Cormyrian fashion, drawing the eyes of passers-by. Inside, the shop is a symphony of textiles. Racks upon racks of clothing items, from luxurious velvet doublets to sturdy linen tunics, fill the space. The air carries the scent of clean fabric and a hint of lavender. Behind a walnut counter, the ever-dapper Elric, with a pair of silver-rimmed spectacles perched on his nose, attends to his patrons with a warm, professional smile.
Is there anyone in the shop other than him?
Yeah, there are a couple of people looking around at various articles of clothing.
Okay.
You guys gonna approach, say hi to him? Anything you want to do before you do that?
Sorry, I'm taking notes.
I was just contemplating how hilarious it would be to cast Arms of Hadar right now.
How is Corthyndahast dressed?
Fairly fancily, I suppose.
So Fig's gonna kind of sidle up to him and whisper, I think maybe you should do this one because I'm just wearing armor and that's not very fancy.
But I detest people.
Yes, that means you're most likely to ask the right questions to get out of the conversation quickly.
Okay, yeah, I'll approach.
Dell is just watching the exchange with an amused smirk.
As you make your way to the front, the man behind the counter looks up at you and says, "Oh, hello, darling. Oh, that is such a nice vest. May I see?"
Yes.
And by see, of course, he is leaning forward, just feels the fabric just a little between his fingers. Oh, delightful. Cormyr.
Yes. I would have gotten it in blah 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 Suseo.
Uh-huh.
So like whatever shop that I bought it from in Suseo, I'd like repeat the name of.
Oh, Cormyr. Really? I would have thought that came from the north. Fancy, though. Very nice. How can I help you?
Sorry, I'm just laughing in real life over here. Well, yeah. What was the occurrence that happened here? Do we have that in our notes somewhere?
I had it, but I've lost that particular set of notes, so I don't know.
It was a clothing rack that like toppled over and got busted,
So
I think.
we have 3 fallen racks and 1 baker's lung. That's interesting.
We're here to follow up on an investigation of odd disturbances that have been happening in the town.
Oh, you don't want the
Here.
clothing.
The attitude change, I love that.
Well, go on.
We were told that a rack fell over strangely. Something
You're
to
going to
that
have to be a
effect.
bit more specific than that. When? And who's rack?
I like this guy. Do we know when? I didn't write it down.
Fig will sigh heavily and come to save for Corthynd.
I have negative to talkies.
Really negative. You have a -2.
Kind of insert herself and say, "I'm sorry, we were
Oh, and
investigating."
I'm sorry. Hold a moment. Vintage. She's a bit with the hair, but
I'm
the
sorry,
tabard
do
just
you have a
doesn't
problem with
work.
my hair?
Oh no, it's lovely, but it could use a bit more keeping and care. It looks like you just woke up beside a pond this morning, and
I quite literally did.
it shows, dear. You could use a bath.
I did as well, but some of us care for our hair.
Some of us aren't getting any muffins next time Fig bakes some.
Oh, you're cute. I like it. I'm sorry, you were saying?
Master Hider, we have heard from the Purple Dragon that there was a disturbance, like
When?
poltergeisting. Recently, they didn't give me an actual date. Do you have a lot of poltergeists tossing your clothes around?
No, I just don't like sharing my business with people who I don't know who aren't buying clothes from me.
Share your business and we might buy some clothes.
Perhaps introductions are in order then. This
Introductions.
shabbily dressed young lady here is
I'm a soldier and dressed like a soldier.
Figwyn Hawklin.
Lady Hawklin.
She just kind of inclines her head like, yes, thank you. I wasn't trying to pull the noble card, but here we are.
Delryar Tammarast.
Lord Tammarast. Oh,
Cassian
I like
sees.
I like what you're doing with that
He's not
robe.
here.
It's very nice.
Yeah, see, Del gets it. And I am Corthyndahast.
Oh, a Dahast. I assume
Don't-
related to the Dahasts.
Of course.
Yeah, that explains everything.
It really does. We've
And
had. Nope, you go ahead.
she was just gonna be like, we're trying to prevent this from happening again, because you never know what kind of things your clothing could tumble into if it's falling over all the time. This is not a protection racket. We are honestly just trying to help.
You know, I almost believe you.
I ask you this. Do I look like I have the kind of money that somebody would have if they were running a protection racket?
You look like a noble. So of course.
Do I?
Yes. Yes, dear.
You can't
The
just say
common
no
folk can't
after you
afford
know.
armor like that.
You were just calling it rusty.
I did not call your armor rusty. I said your hair looked like you woke up in a swamp.
Plus, it could be both rusty and expensive.
I said it looked antique.
That just increases the value.
Yes, and thus that's why a noble would have it.
Just before this alleged collapsing of alleged clothing that allegedly happened allegedly recently, did you maybe receive payment with a coin you didn't recognize? Something strange.
Allow me to help you just a little. Demonstrate to me that I actually should believe you are actually here to investigate and not here to take advantage of me. And I might be willing to answer your questions.
What advantage would we be taking?
I don't know. You're the nobles. Always preaching about how you're going to give back to the poor and help the needy and build up the common folk while taking from
Here
us
I'm
with your
trapped.
other hand.
I was gonna stop browsing the clothes and step up in his ratty robes and stuff.
Oh, honey, you need a makeover fast.
Is it that bad?
Well, yes. But it's alright. Long as you're not with them.
No, I was, just looking around because I've pretty much been wearing nothing but this for
Mhm.
5 years.
Oh my. No wonder. What can I get for you? A whole new look?
Well,
Too
I don't know if I need to
much?
change that much. What kind of robes and something like this, but maybe that doesn't
Certainly,
smell
certainly. Come
5
this
years
way.
old.
Step this way and let's get you measured.
All right, I'm gonna look back at the group, kind of grimacing.
What just happened?
A fashion whirlwind.
Does he have a plan, or is he actually just getting a makeover?
He could use a makeover. I'm gonna activate my spooky sight.
Yep.
See if anything's just randomly glowing.
Nothing in here seems magical.
Shame.
Sorry.
So full of his work, and it's not even magical clothing.
I know, right? What a loser. Elric will take you to the back and put you behind a paper wall. Take that off
Okay.
for me, if you would.
Will do. Business must be going well. It seems like you have some pretty fancy folk here.
Nobleman, I wish they'd leave.
Yeah, you're telling me. I hope it's not noble prices.
Oh, not for you, dear, not for you.
Thank you. You seem lovely. I don't think I've seen you before, but obviously I don't do much clothes shopping.
Born and raised in Thunderstone. Yes, I can tell. Oh, you wear leathers under your... I
Yeah.
assume you're going to want something that can go over those as well. Are you an adventurer? Is that what this is?
No, I get around. I travel a lot, and
And bandits do as bandits will. I understand. Makes sense. Well, then I shall measure you for something that can go over your armor, then. Let me see. Takes out a measuring tape and starts measuring a couple of ways. Yes, I do think I have something in your size. How about this? And he goes into the back and comes back with a nice... It's velvet. It's a robe that's... gray and very soft velvet with kind of a black trim.
nice. Oh, that looks very nice.
Yes. I think it would look good on you. Why don't you try it on?
Absolutely. And I don't mean to be rude, but I did overhear there was some mishaps with the clothing. Didn't happen to be something that got knocked over in the rest of the mess. And I'm not too keen of eye, so if there's any damages,
He hesitates a moment. Can you make a persuasion check for me?
Yeah.
Corthyndahast would whisper to Figwyn, do you think setting the place on fire would help?
I find that does not make people more willing to talk to you.
He hesitates as he's kind of helping you into that robe and making sure it lays properly on your shoulders. And now, why are you asking about that?
Oh, well, just seemed interesting.
Wasn't that interesting. Just a rack of clothes toppling over, created a mess, tangled a couple of customers. You know how it is.
Oh,
Cost me some business, but...
couldn't have been too bad.
No, not really. Oh, this does look good on you.
Yes, I'm liking this.
Yes,
I'm
would
gonna
you like to have it?
kinda swing my arms around a bit.
It's loose, it's light, it's airy, comfortable, but it's also
It's
like...
velvet and it's light.
Yes, it's very thin velvet.
Oh, that'll break in a second.
Sure. How much does this run me?
Oh, that'll be 3 golden lions.
All right.
Now Elric has to figure out where he's been keeping those golden lions.
Ooh. Oh no.
All right. I will pull out 3 golden lions and hand them to him.
Thank you. Is there anything else I can get for you?
No, thank you. I don't know. Is there anything else you think I need?
Oh, honey, you need everything, but this is a good start and it covers most.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see you here again.
I hope so.
All right. And I'll just go back to the lobby and I'll look over and say, I might look around, see if
Take
maybe
your
I find
time.
another
Take your
purchase.
time. And he'll head back to the front and just scowl at you lot again. Oh, you're still here?
We have an adventuring charter, if that would help.
I don't care if Queen Raedra herself were here offering to buy your way into my good graces.
Oh, good. She would be upset if I contacted her about that.
You know the Queen?
I did mention I'm a Dahast, didn't I?
Yes.
I'm an apprentice of Ganrahast.
So you know the
Fig
Queen.
will turn to Corthin, just like overtly and obviously ignoring Elric and being like, well, it's just a shame that the service here wasn't better. I know so many of my cousins who could use a new gown for court.
My dear,
I like
you
walking.
overestimate the value of the Hawklins. But the Queen... I might be willing to share my information in exchange for a promise to put a certain item in front of her.
I can make the promise easily, but it may be some time before I'm back in court.
I understand fashion doesn't move fast, but it's not much. Just, there's a new line of dresses that I've been making, and I think she would look ravishing in them.
That would certainly be a scoop over the dressmakers in Seasilver. Although, if I recall correctly, last season, she was wearing things from Dawngleam.
Ugh. Noble pretenders.
I would be happy to pass along your designs.
Well then, what do you want to know?
We, what was the pastry shop?
Thistleberries delights.
Chocolate, what?
Thistleberries.
Thistleberries. I don't know why I heard duckleberries.
What the hell's a
What's a
duckleberry?
duckleberry?
Yeah, at this point,
There have
Fig
been
just has her notebook out and is just like feeding him lines with this extremely unimpressed expression because Ulrich will like not acknowledge her, except to be mean to her.
We've traced a series of unusual events back to your shop. It's the proprietor of Thuckleberry Delights is mentioned. You paid with an-
Thistleberry.
Thistleberry, whatever. That will be in character. He'll say Thuckleberry. She'll be like Thistleberry. He's like, yes, okay, fine. Delights said you paid with an unusual coin, and after receiving that coin is when her troubles began.
When was this? Really? Some more specific date will have to be provided. I visit Miss Thistleberry every evening.
4 days ago, I believe, would be the correct timeline. Maybe 3. Within this 10 day.
4 days ago. Of course. It would be 4 days ago.
Yes, the same day that your clothes fell down.
Yes, that is the same day that the clothes fell down. A rack of clothes toppled, creating a mess. Several of my customers were entangled. It was very frustrating. I had to clean the entire store that day. Closed early, and then, of course, I went to Marion's afterwards to order a chocolate sweet roll. She makes the best in town.
And then she got baker's lump.
And then she visited the apothecary.
And his vials fell off.
Are you implying something?
We're implying that you may have received tainted currency from someone else, and we are attempting to track the trail further back. Unless you're trying to imply that you all started with you. I'm sure the Purple
Absolutely
Dragons would love
not.
to know that.
I haven't a magical bone in my body. I don't know the first thing about magic, so if this is some magical coin, I wouldn't know what caused it.
Do you remember who gave it to you?
I don't even remember having an odd coin, particularly. I just remember that it was right as I was accepting payment for a new gown that everything fell over. I thought there must have been some waif, some child from the street that had run through and knocked everything over, but I suppose it could have been some magical thing.
Do you remember whose gown you and do you remember who was paying for the gown?
Off the top of my head, I'm afraid I don't.
Is there a way to persuade you to search the middle and the bottom of your head and perhaps your business ledger?
I'll look. He pulls out a notebook and starts skimming through it. I don't know. I sold 12 gowns that day. I don't keep them in particular order.
Well, I guess I'll need all 12 names.
And he will sigh and write down all 12 names for you and hand them to you.
She will tuck that thing into her journal, just like, and thank him for his time, even though he's been a rude little butt.
Now, if there's nothing else, I have customers to attend to.
What about the dress?
Oh, he will slide you just a book. Full of sketches of dresses.
Yeah, okay. I'll take
Basically a fashion magazine. It weighs a pound instead of the usual book weight. It's not a full-size journal.
No.
Usual books weigh a pound.
No, they weigh 5 pounds.
Yeah,
Oh.
they weigh 5 pounds.
They're knowledge is heavy.
Big, very pointedly not going, my journal's bigger than yours.
Well, now I'm encumbered.
Just ditch it around the corner.
No, just give it to me.
And he will smile and say, "Do give my best to the queen," and then walk past you back towards you, Fal. So, did you find anything else you like?
Oh, well. Did they have like shoes and stuff here, or?
No shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be a cobbler, right?
That
Yeah.
would be a cobbler.
Or you can get a cobbler at the pastry shop.
Hey.
Lots of things I like, but I'm still a bit directionless. Might have to come back another time.
You're welcome back anytime, dear.
Well, it was wonderful to meet you. What was your name again?
Oh, my name is Elric.
Val.
Val. Pleasant to meet you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, toodaloo.
And just gonna leave.
Once we're outside, I'll say to Del and Fig that he seems to have a chip on his shoulder about nobles.
But not enough of a chip to be above the lure of getting his designs worn by royalty.
Mhm.
Well, this just gives us many more names to investigate.
Do I have a handout? Like,
Not currently. I'll get you one.
if you want to cut that list of names down to only ones that you want to make content for, I'm fine with that.
Nope.
I look forward to what chat spits out for you.
Once I'm back at the group. So, if he doesn't have the coin, and doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on here, much information, do we know if there's another direction we should head?
Well, I have a list of the patrons who had paid for gowns on the day the accident happened. So it's possible, in fact probable, that the coin came from one of them. And we have the dwarf.
Cross-referencing the list of the names with the list of that we had before of suspicious people that would have a reason to hurt Hunt Silver. Are there any that are on both?
Oh yeah, my list of noble.
Yeah.
That is a good question. Why don't we take a break, and I'll get you that after the break.
Good.
It's about time anyways, so.
Yes.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
Alright. See y'all in a minute.
I loved Elric.
Good.
All I could think that entire time was, wow, Panic would have handled this so much better than Fig's handling it.
Well, you guys are all the faces, right? You're all good at talky stuff.
I mean, I've got charisma, but I don't have that much charisma.
Is Cassian the face?
I've got a 13. I've got a +1.
Del is the one with the high charisma in the party.
Oh, right.
Although Cassian, I think, is also reasonably facey. He's got a 14.
Like,
but
Fig
Del's
loves
problem is
talk,
Matthew.
but yes, Del's problem is Matthew.
Oof. Or Matthew.
Am I wrong?
I will not answer that on stream.
I'm trying so hard not to hog the spotlight.
I think there's a difference between hogging the spotlight and like
So far, I have seen
being what
nobody
you
doing
are, which is
any hogging.
I think Fig is the party leader.
Which is terrifying in its own right because you're all being led by a hunting spaniel. But
I mean, it makes sense, right?
that the dog is in charge.
The dog's leading the charge.
Oh, well, I mean, I suppose Scooby was also always the most valuable member of that team, so I understand.
Corthyndahast is just by his character not inclined to try to be the one in charge. I mean, he's
Yeah.
aiming for the top advisor position in the country, so it's a Dahast tradition that you're going to be the one in charge, but you're not going to let anybody know that you're the one in charge.
And Fig here is like just kind of bumbled ass backwards into being in charge.
I'm not even sure that you are in charge so far. It's just for this session, you kind of are leading a little bit, and that's fine.
I have
I don't
never
think Fig
thought,
thinks
if
of
it helps,
herself as
that
party leader
you've
yet.
been hogging the spotlight.
Well, good, because
Nobody has done any spotlight hogging.
that is my biggest concern with the very vocal characters, that I'll just keep talking and that everybody will be like, why won't Fig just shut up and let other people have cool moments?
Lauren, if you look at Fig's list of nobles, that handout,
Mm-hmm.
there's a second tab now.
And now I can cross-reference on my own.
And I will be right back.
There is one name.
Dun dun dun.
Looks like everybody is back. Everybody's ready, we can continue. What do you guys want to do next? Oh, I'm muted. Hey, I should probably unmute before saying things, huh?
Yeah.
I said, looks like everybody's back, so let's continue. What do you guys want to do next?
Eliminate suspects.
Well, while we were sitting here, I cross-referenced my 2 lists, and Fig would have, assuming we're like back at the tavern or somewhere, just like going over my notes, Fig would point out that the only name that appears on her list of people that she thinks would have something to gain from Hunt Silver's ball and the list of patrons is Veronica Dracohorn.
I will note that that is your list of people whose name starts with a V.
Well, okay. But that was specifically
Because
names
it
who start
was-
with a V who might benefit from.
Because there was that
Hunt
one thing
Silver.
signed with a V.
Yeah.
we think.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily people who will benefit. This was the list of nobles who you could remember off the top of your head whose name started with a V.
But it does. It could be a hint.
Well, that's what I've got.
Could be Old Man Jenkins.
Well, you mean Leroy? I think he's a legend. He doesn't make sense.
That was a Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Yes, and then I turned it into a Princess Bride reference and you missed it because I probably.
Well, so we can either try and track down that lead, or we can go to the ale distributor. This is just very convoluted. We should just burn the whole place down.
But you don't have to chase these leads either. It's just what you're currently looking at. There's other things you can do in town.
True, but we said we'd solve the mysteries.
Do we know where Veronica would be?
Probably at House Dracohorn. They have a mansion in town similar to Hunt Silver's.
Do any of us have an easy way of tapping into the rumors on the street who's stirring up the most foment?
I could ask around.
Could ask my purple dragon buddy.
Yeah, but the cops don't always know what the deal is.
You guys should have this conversation iCely, probably.
Okay, Fig asks, are there any of you who feel confident, asking these streets what they think about this entire affair? I'm afraid I'm obvious in almost everything I am.
I could ask Kale, but they might not know. Obviously, if they knew more than we did, they would have solved this already.
I can check with Orn, maybe.
Perhaps the local dragons might know who we could speak to that would not normally speak to them.
We're already having to prove ourselves to them, though. Are they even going to tell us what their informants' names are?
Maeve wouldn't, but Kale would. Well, unless she's told him not to assist me.
What if you got him drunk first?
That would be an abuse of our friendship, and an excellent idea.
Well, in any case, I think I need to go get rid of some stuff that's weighing me down. So I'll probably just go take care of that, and like I said, I'll ask my friend who's a bit more connected.
Kel's brother, yes?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not very familiar with his family.
Yeah, it's, no reason to be. They're just common folk, but, they know folks, so.
That could be an excellent lead.
Well, I would be okay with staying here until we meet back up and going through the newspaper to see if there's anything helpful there. I haven't really had a chance to finish digging through it.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Those that have connections in town, go and see if they can get more information, and we'll start out after we get that.
All right, so just meet back at the inn.
Yeah, Fig will real quick rip a sheet out of the back of her journal and write down a couple of the names and whatnot from her notes to make sure that they don't forget, and then send them out.
Sweet.
No offense, Val, but she's a little bit suspicious of your ability to remember the details.
Which names are you writing down?
Basically, she wrote down Veronica Dracohorn specifically, and also just wrote that we want their take on the like the political situation, who's pushing for uh pushing it back against the changes, why they're so controversial, that kind of thing.
There's an article about it in the paper.
Yes, but she did just say she hasn't had a chance to read it, by which she meant I haven't had a chance to read it because we've been doing this other stuff, so I'm gonna do that now.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Okay, cool. Where are you heading?
Well, first off, I'm going to try and sell this scimitar off.
Mm-hmm. I'll make that easy for you. You could sell it for half the PHP value.
Sounds good.
Which is 25 gold, so you could sell it for 13 silver. Or sorry, 13 gold. Easy.
Sounds
13 silver, but getting robbed.
Yeah, 13 gold.
Awesome. How do I remove an item?
If you, on your sheet, there's a green lock on your inventory, top right.
Oh,
If
gotcha.
you click that lock, it'll unlock the delete functionality and a couple other things.
Sweet. Thank you. Cool. And then I'll head over to Doran's house. Or
Sure.
if he's still...
You can head to his house if you want, or you could head to the tavern where you usually see him.
Yeah, I'll head to the tavern where I usually see him.
Sure. So that is the... Ooh, do I remember the name of that tavern? Hold on. Sure, it's somewhere around here.
Clearly, the answer is no.
Sorry, do I have it written down? That's what I meant to say. Nope, not in front of me. In here. Oh, the furniture's fate.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. They regularly meet there? How did we not?
Because Dorn and his brother do not pay much attention to one another.
Ow.
So yeah, you head to the Furniture's Fate. It is mid-afternoon at this point, just about the time Dorn might start showing up there. You make your way in. It's reasonably busy, as it usually is on a cold winter day. You see Dorn somewhere at the bar.
I will saddle up beside him at the bar.
And he looks over and just smiles and says, "Ah, Falaghard, how's it going?"
It's going all right. Getting some free food and drinks, at least, from Huntsilver still.
"Ah, milking him for all he's worth. Good on you.
And keeping it going.
What are you
How
doing
have you
here,
been?
then?" "Oh, fine. You know how it is. Business. Hey,
Yeah.
did I thank you for helping out?"
Oh, I'm sure. If not, it was implied.
"No. It's really important. That man is practically like a second father to me. Mary, put another one down. This man deserves a drink."
Oh, thank you, Dorn. I'll get the next one. And like I said, I'm getting free drinks left and right.
"Well, have another free one on me now. What have you been up to? Doing anything exciting?"
Well, I've been running around with a bunch of nobles.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Stuffy, but, you know, that's how it goes.
Huh. They trying to convert you over to that pine tree cult or whatever it is?
No, not yet, but sure we'll get there. Been doing a lot of running around, talking to people, taking notes. Lots of notes.
That sounds boring as the hells.
Yeah, but I did manage to get this nice new robe.
Fancy
So,
new robe. Looks good on
guess
you.
that's what happens.
A little expensive, though. I doubt that'll survive your trip, you know.
No,
When
I'm
are you
sure it
going
won't last
again,
long.
anyways?
At this point, I'm not sure, but hopefully soon. Do you know if is any word coming through from the throne?
Well, nothing in particular. What are you looking into?
Well, for one, if there's any deliveries that I gotta make, good to know. And then also, we've been checking around town because it seems like there's been some odd occurrences, just shelves breaking, people getting sick. Doesn't seem super connected at first, but it seems like there's a strange coin that's been passing through each of these places, and we were wondering if there's any word from folks that might want to see House Huntsilver be, affected by bad goings on in town to further ruin their name.
Well, I mean, not much need to ruin Huntsilver's name further than he already's ruined it himself. Taking kids is not going over well, I'll tell you that. Why is he doing that anyways? Seems so weird.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's actually him, for what it's worth.
So, you believe he's not responsible?
Yeah, I probably should have led with that, but yeah, after we finished up that night, I ended up getting some more information and checking that letter that we found, and seems to have been a forgery.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Edgar's convinced of that too. He's certain that Huntsilver wouldn't take his daughter.
That's good to hear. glad a couple folks are starting to, you know, come around, but
So you really
still a
want to
whole
clear
town to
his
deal
name?
with. Well, that's where these free drinks are coming from, so
Ah, so he's bought you. I see.
yep, for now.
Fair
But
enough. Fair enough. Well, I mean, I could give you a list a mile long of people who are actually interested in harming nobility, and especially that particular noble. But it wouldn't be very helpful.
no, I think we've narrowed the list down to V's.
These.
Particularly, there was a Veronica, uh, Veronica Draco,
Veronica Dracohorn?
Dracohorn, yeah.
Huh. Don't know why she would hate Huntsilver, but I guess it's possible. I know
Hmm.
House Dracohorn's always been a bit at odds with House Huntsilver. Jealous of their money or something like that. I mean, who isn't jealous of the Silvers? Practically royalty themselves. Everybody wishes they were silver.
Yeah. Um, so some of the other stuff we've been hearing is Hunt Silver's been making some changes, legally speaking, and stuff. And is that something that Draco Horn might be having an issue with? You know, I don't know what they're involved in.
I don't know. I mean, they're noble. I don't tend to keep up with whatever they're fighting over, but I know
Yeah.
this oak compromise or whatever he's trying to push. At least according to the papers that he's throwing out there, is something to do with helping the common folk. It looks like it would be at the noble's expense if it goes through the way he's claiming it would, so maybe that would be a problem for Draco Horn? Not wanting to
Yeah, I'm
pay
sure
for
they
the
wouldn't.
common folk? Mm-hmm.
Pretty standard, yeah. Well, yeah, that's definitely his motive. And back to the coin, though. Have you heard of anyone trying to, I don't know, run some schemes or anything with
I have heard of at
cursed
least
coins?
a dozen schemes, but none with cursed coins.
Hmm.
Here's something I do know, though. You are hanging out with these hoity-toities way too much.
Yeah. Thinking it'd be nice to definitely get on the road again.
Then you should.
Even nicer to find some dream mist around here.
Mist would be nice.
Hardly have
I
a
will
second alone.
keep an ear out.
All right.
Is dream nest weed?
You don't know.
I wasn't asking as fake, I was asking as Elsie.
You don't know.
I know that I don't know, that's why I asked.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You know.
Well, it's good to see you. Is there anything that you've got going on? Maybe I can keep an eye out for you as well.
Yeah. This thing Huntsilver's pushing, this Forest Covenant.
Yeah.
Be good to know if he's actually going to do the things he says he is. There are people who would really benefit if it's not a lie.
Well, guess I'm in a good position to find out. I'll look into it.
Hey, Fal.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful.
Yeah. Group's definitely keeping me on my toes.
Yeah.
You be careful too, Dorn. And I'm gonna...
Me? I'm always careful.
Sure. I'm just gonna slap down a gold coin and
The gold.
enjoy your night.
He just kind of leans back when the golden lion hits the table. Before he can even look at it for more than a second, the bartender just reaches up and snatches it.
And I will head back to the inn.
Alrighty. Meanwhile, Corthynd, I believe you were heading back to the barracks.
Yeah. Also, if I can find a place to sell that ring I found on the way.
Which ring?
Bloodstained ring. Yeah, it was in the ritual.
Oh, yeah, you might want to clean it up first.
Oh, wait, prestidigitation, man. Bam.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah,
Could we not identify it first?
it's not magical.
It's not magical.
Oh, okay.
There's no, like, symbols on it, so...
It's just okay. Got it.
Yep.
I thought it was magical for some reason.
If it was magical, I would put it on and see what happens.
And that's one way to do that.
Anyways, yeah, you can sell that. It'll sell for about 5 silver.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So yeah,
And
you make
yeah,
your way back to the
okay.
barracks, and as you enter, that same young man with the book looks up and says, "Hello, oh, it's you again." Yes?
Was just looking for Kale.
Right. I'll fetch him for you then.
Why,
Turns and
thanks.
heads inside. A moment later, Kale emerges looking hot and sweaty. He is shirtless, armorless. Ah! Corthynd, how's it going, my friend?
Oh, I didn't interrupt you in the middle of training, did I?
Oh, you did, but it's fine. I was just giving that old lad a rousing bout. What can I do for you?
We're investigating that mess for Maeve.
Yes.
Appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Since we took the break, I forgot what I was gonna. God damn it!
Does anyone want to help him? Lauren, you wrote it down for
You're
him, right?
supposed to. Yep, you're supposed to be asking about Veronica Dracohorn and also
Veronica Dracohorn.
who just seems to be most upset about what Silver's trying to
the
do
whole
politically.
campaign.
Mhm.
I read about that campaign of Huntsilver's in the Gazette.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think would be most likely to oppose that?
Well, if it goes the way Huntsilver says, I would say any noble household worth its salt. They all stand to lose a lot of money over that. Maybe even the crown.
Who could object to educating the masses, though? Seems like a wonderful idea.
Oh yes, educate the masses so that they know exactly what those taxes are going towards.
I suppose some amount of ignorance is good.
Listen, I think Huntsilver's ideals are laudable. I think he should succeed, but I come from a common house, so I would.
It's easier being from the bottom and wanting that good things to happen. The elves have a much better look at it. Community, raising the children together, teaching the needed skills.
Sounds like they've got a good thing going.
What do you know about Veronica Dracohorn?
Veronica Dracohorn. Not much. A noble woman. Never Really heard anything about her? I presume she lives in House Draco Horn?
Do you have anything against Hunt Silver?
You mean a particular beef?
Yes.
You're closer to the nobles than I am, my friend.
That's what I was afraid of. Her name came up in our investigation. I thought there might be something.
Really? Should I tell Maeve?
You can pass it along if you'd like. We don't have anything concrete. It's merely a list of people who have... Well, you can tell Maeve that we think there might be a cursed coin involved.
Cursed coin. Interesting. Sounds like we've got the right man on the job, then.
I certainly hope so.
Aren't curses a Dahast specialty?
He looks particularly put out for a moment, as if remembering a very particular curse. That they are. Her name was one of several who we're looking into that may have passed along this coin. Doesn't mean it came from her originally. Could have just passed through her hands.
Well,
But so far, at least 3 out of the 4 occurrences we've investigated seem to be linked by monetary value.
that sounds like quite a lead.
It was a foreign coin as well.
Interesting. Nobody's allowed to use foreign coin in Cormyr. That's against the law.
Or at least unusual, not one of the normal currency.
Oh,
Could have been an older minting, I suppose, but it wasn't recognized by the merchant who received it.
interesting. Sounds like you guys are making good headway.
We were. I feel as if we've come up against a wall.
Well, my friend, if I could give you a piece of advice.
What's that?
When you come up against a wall, get a bigger sledgehammer.
That is good advice. What about this
Works for
brother
me
of
every
yours?
time. Dorn?
Never mentioned him.
Never had reason to. He's a bit of a lazeabout. Doesn't do much.
Seems to be connected to one of my new associates.
Oh, yes. That, tall, lanky fellow. Val, I think he said his name was.
Yes. Falaghard. Kind of unusual, really. Everyone else Hunt Silver's roped into this is a noble in some fashion. Excluding myself, of course.
Excluding yourself, but you're a Dahast. Practically nobility. Practically royalty, really.
He's very pleased at that. But then there's this... Falaghard. There's something there.
Does make you wonder what he's got, huh?
Who's blackmailing who, perhaps?
Maybe he's the kidnapper.
Doesn't really seem to match his disposition, if I'm honest.
It was a joke anyways.
Though I wouldn't put it past Delryar.
Really?
No, not really. He just annoys me.
Well,
Let's
if
get
there's
back
nothing
to
else, I gotta
fun.
go kick a man's ass.
If you win, the drinks are on me.
Oh, I will win. See you tonight at the furniture.
Of course.
Excellent.
And then
Good luck.
I'll take my leave. Wave.
Yep. And as you're leaving, you can in fact hear a fight in the yard.
I will prestidigitate out there a yeah, go Kale.
All right. And then you guys meet back up, I assume, at the Sign of Thunder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense. That's our little gathering hole.
Yeah, meanwhile, at the Sign of Thunder, Fig and Del, where have you two been? What have you been up to for the last hour-ish?
Scouring the newspaper with a fine-tooth comb.
Are you
Not a
in your
literal
room
one.
or down in the lobby? Where are you at?
Oh, she's probably in her room, but the door's open because she's in
Okay.
there and she's just chilling.
And Del, what have you been up to for the last hour?
Dell's been just kind of wandering town, getting to know the place a little better.
Sure. Anything in particular you want to know about it?
Not at this time.
Okay. I will tell you. I will
That's
tell
not
you
true.
this. Oh, go ahead.
He's trying to keep an eye out for the thugs that they dealt with in the last night.
Sure.
2 nights ago.
You don't see them in particular. It doesn't seem like anybody's like actively doing anything political, and you don't see anybody dressed the way those guys were at the moment. You do. Can you make an intelligence check for me? Okay. So walking around Thunderstone, it strikes you that it's not a large town. It's maybe 2,500 people or so, give or take. The walls almost seem superfluous to you, that they're putting up walls. Like, yeah, sure, there was a war 7 years ago, and maybe they'll need some better defenses, but like walls, really? How are they going to defend walls? There's no way they can form a militia large enough to actually be good. It seems a little useless. But it's small, it's quaint, it's nice. Definitely people from all over this part of Cormyr would be coming here to sell their wares before heading back to their local village or whatever. Yeah. Will you make your way back to the Sign of Thunder as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys all return and find Fig's door open.
Okay. Is she inside?
I mean, yeah. Just using that as an opportunity to put you all back in the same space.
I mean, you never know. Could have been kidnapped.
No. She's. If there's a little desk in there, she's at the desk. Otherwise, she's sitting on her bed, taking notes, looking at her notes, probably looking a little like.
Well, didn't get much from Dorn on the side of the nobles, unfortunately. Seems like the Draco Horns definitely would have some reason to want to see Huntsilver's downfall just because of new laws he's trying to pass and stuff, the Oak Pact or whatnot. Didn't seem like there's any schemes being run with these coins. No word on that, but
Should I already have notes on the Oak Pact?
It's in your newspaper.
Oh, it's not called that then, is it?
yeah, no.
You will note, maybe nobody caught this, but Dorn called it something different every single time he spoke about it. He said 3 different names for it. So, no surprise that Fal also doesn't know what it's actually called.
Unfortunately, I didn't get much more out of Gale. I updated him on how we've been doing, but doesn't have anything particular beef that Veronica may have against Huntsilver.
Yeah, well, I didn't really find a whole lot that we didn't already know in the newspaper. It looks like people are either worried that this new plan's going to cost them too much money or worried that it's going to make them do what the nobles want, like they're not already doing that.
Well, the commoners enjoy a lot more freedoms here than in some other places.
Well, now what?
Seems like we've still just got a noble and a dwarf.
Man, it would be really helpful if we had a rogue for this I need people to talk on the streets thing.
Or the merchant to talk with all these merchants.
How dare Anne go out and enjoy nature instead of...
That is actually what I said to her when she sent me the snapback chat.
Yes, but okay, you don't like nature.
It's dirty.
Anyways. It's getting later in the day. Why don't we perhaps see if we can find the delivery driver and save a noble visitation for tomorrow?
Wise idea.
Besides, if we're going to go visit a noble house, we should probably write ahead to see when it's convenient. That's one of those things, isn't it?
It is, but at the same time, them being a little off balance might get us more information. In fact, why don't I go and send a runner with a letter saying that we will be visiting them tomorrow afternoon. That will be notice, but not too much.
That sounds good.
What
Fig,
do
if
you
you
say?
could... Oh,
You go
nothing.
ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to ask Fig to borrow the newspaper when she's done with it.
She will absolutely hand it over. He may find that she circled a couple of things in ink, but none of it is really helpful to what we're doing.
Okay.
She's clearly kind of grasping at straws.
Okay. Del, what are you putting in this letter? You don't have to make it word for word. Just give me an idea of what the contents are.
Something along the lines of members of the house, Tammarast and, wow, my brain's...
Hawklin.
Hawklin.
And Seasilver, right?
I'm only mentioning us
Oh,
specifically. Have recently arrived in town and would like in, and will be stopping by in the afternoon to discuss possible business in the area.
Okay. And are you signing it with your name or just
Mine.
your ring or your name? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the signet ring.
Just the ring or with your name?
Just the ring.
Okay. Okay. A runner will be glad to carry that for you. It'll cost you 2 copper thumbs.
Okay, Cormyr, why is it falcons and lions but thumbs?
I don't know, but Cassian's background made use of that real well. You should ask Anne about it sometime.
I bet there's actually a reason. Like,
I'm sure there
I'm
is, but
sure,
I
I
don't know it
just-
offhand. Anyway. So yeah, you send off a letter. What's next?
I think that he said that we should try to find the delivery dwarf today. And then
yeah.
sleep on the rest.
How are you planning to find the delivery dwarf?
Well, we know the brewery, right?
House Hillor.
We know, yes, that House Hiller runs a brewery. And that his name is Hagrim.
Do you want to head to the Hiller Brewery? Is that your thought?
I mean,
It's as good as anything else I've
yeah,
got.
it makes sense to me, right?
Okay. 1 second. The brewery is a large, sturdy stone building on the east end of town, its exterior covered in deep green ivy that gives it a rustic charm. Smoke gently rises from its tall chimneys, carrying the rich, malty scent of brewing ale across the town. Inside the brewery is a symphony of activity, with large oak barrels lining the walls and copper vats dominating the center space. The air inside is warm and humid, filled with a comfortable aroma of fermenting grains. The low hum of bubbling brews provides a soothing backdrop to the brewery's daily operations. You can see that they're just about closing for the evening. There's several people who are busy capping everything off and making their last checks before they start to make their way out. What do you want to do?
Maybe watch for a little bit, see if we can find a dwarf. I don't know.
Nobody in here is dwarf. They're all human.
Well, that sort of limits things unless something horrible happened with the dwarf and he got fired too. We'll send our rogue in to talk around with people, get information.
Your rogue seems to be lacking in presence.
Darn.
Well, I guess Fig will come up or go up to them and ask just like the nearest person who looks not so overwhelmed with work that they're gonna punch her or something.
You come up to a man who's he's got a clipboard in his hand, and he's kind of shouting out to the others once in a while, making
right back.
sure things get done. When you approach him, he turns and looks at you and goes, "Huh? What can I do for you?"
Hi. I'm
Hi.
affiliated with the Dragon's Den and
Uh-huh, yes.
was looking
Are they
for.
unhappy with their shipment?
I just need to talk with the delivery boy. Man.
Delivery boy man.
Yes,
The
his name's
delivery.
Hagram.
Oh, Hagrim. Yes. You need to speak to Hagrim.
I would like to, please.
Right. Did he do something wrong?
He's not in trouble. I just want to discuss the next shipment and delivery details. That's all.
And you are
My name's Fig.
Fig. And you work for
I'm affiliated with the Dragon's Den.
Jasper.
Yes.
Jasper hired you to come talk to us.
Sure. Yes.
Do we need barristers?
No. No. It's just about changing the location at the Dragon's Den where the stuff is delivered. I just need to talk to him for like 5 minutes. It should not be a problem.
Make a deception check. Okay. Well, a small problem.
What's that?
It is not the delivery day, so he is not here.
Do you have his address? I can just make, a house call.
Do not give the address, no.
Well, I know Jasper will be so disappointed.
Mm.
And after all the trouble of the shelving collapsing the first time.
Yes, we make amends. We give new ale. He already has, yes?
Yes, I just needed to talk to Hagram.
Yes.
When
Can leave
when does
message?
when does he work next?
Tomorrow.
Okay, I suppose I'll come back then. Thank you.
What would be the what stat would represent ethics?
Wisdom?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm putting a heavy question mark on that because it's a bit more complex than that.
Okay, yeah, Corthyndahast passes ethics check with himself.
What were
Every
you going
time
to
Charm
say?
Person can solve a problem,
Oh.
he wants to use it. But so far, he's realized that would just cause more problems. There's going to come a day when he doesn't pass that DC 10 test.
But it's not today.
But it is not today. Well, day's not over.
Well, she will come
Close,
back to
though.
the
It is
group
getting dark.
and be like, well, he said Hagram works tomorrow and he wouldn't tell me where Hagram lives, so maybe we should just wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. I wonder if we could track down Lysander before the day is out.
I have even less clues on how to find him than I did on Hagram.
I just don't see any other leads we have at the moment.
Yeah, it's a little dry, isn't it?
Perhaps we should start over tomorrow with brighter eyes.
Yeah, that probably would help. I wonder if the tavern would let me use their kitchen.
They might.
I do my best thinking when I'm baking, you see, so.
Perhaps, well, I was going to suggest you might be able to use the pastry shop's baking accoutrements.
Oh, but that's her whole livelihood. I would be so afraid I'd mess something up.
And it's not the tavern's livelihood?
They can probably make a lot of their stuff without an oven. I don't think you would make stew in an oven.
That's
You?
true. Unless you're a dwarf, that's true.
Well, dwarves make everything in an oven.
You haven't lived until you've eaten forged stew.
Sounds hard on your teeth.
That's why they keep many clerics around.
She's just kind of looking at him like she's not sure she believes whether he's telling the truth or not.
I'm not sure whether he's telling the truth or not.
Like, she doesn't doubt him enough to call him out on it, but she's kind of just like, is this a Westfall chicken?
Hey, I was telling the truth on that one.
Yes, that is when you're telling the truth, and it's so rare I can't believe you.
Oh, I suppose we should break for the evening then.
I suppose just sitting here staring at my notes isn't going to make them any more useful.
You heading back to the inn or back to the tavern?
Back to wherever it is that we're staying.
That's the inn.
Silver.
The
Yeah.
Sign of Thunder.
Sign of Thunder. There we go.
I have an appointment at the furniture.
The furniture's fate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but she's not going to horn in on that. She doesn't even know about it.
All right, so you're heading to the furniture. It is quite lively and busy and full of people, including Kale, who has at least 5 people around him, and he is busy telling a story about how he fought off 2 massive griffins by himself.
I'm going to come up behind him while he's saying that, wait until a particularly juicy part of the story and go,
And then the griffin flowed down, and I grabbed it by its beak. Huh?
That's not how I remember it.
Ah! Corthyndahast, how's it going, my friend?
That's not how I remember it at all.
Well, might have been a little help from my friend Corthyndahast here.
And if I recall, they were baby griffins.
Shush. Trying to have a nice evening.
Give him a shit-eating grin and sit down.
Ah, you bastard. Never trust a Dahast. You heard it here first, folks. But they're all just rolling their eyes and walking away.
I mean, it's very good advice.
Of course it is. Especially when his name is Corthyndahast. How can I help you, my friend? Would you like a drink?
I'm here to buy you a drink.
Really now? That's a change.
Assuming you won your bout.
I did indeed. Although, barely. There was this strange man that cheered for me. Almost cost me my attention.
That gets another grin.
Was that you?
What? No, it was my magic.
Throwing the bout in your favor, I won
Didn't
anyways.
work.
Of course it didn't.
Did you hear about the mess in Halak Forest being cleared up?
I heard that you lot think you've done so. We'll see if it actually holds true.
Talk with Orin about it.
Maybe I will. Oh, you mentioned you wanted to meet my brother.
Well, I just find it interesting that we haven't talked about family much, I suppose.
No. But if you are
There's no
interested, he's right over there.
I'd be happy to do so. I'm not gonna walk out.
Hey, he's
No
just
brothers, please.
motioning towards him. Dorn is. He looks a lot like his brother. Not exactly like him, but like a younger, more drunker
I mean, the pictures
version.
look very similar.
Yeah. A younger, more drunker version. Dorn is still sitting at the bar, the same place he was when Fal came by earlier. He is now very many sheets to the wind.
So you two don't get along?
You know, he's my brother. I'd do anything for him.
Family is important.
Yeah, even if they're... well... you know.
There's quite a few black sheeps down the Dahast line.
I bet there are. Honestly, I'd be more surprised to find any white ones among you.
The worst of them's probably Vangadahast.
Figwyn. Wasn't he the royal wizard I don't know, a while ago?
That he was. Only 2 royal mages ago.
Dead now, eh?
He's, like, not even answering.
You know what? I don't want to know. Wizards are weird.
That they are. And he almost looks like he was looking to the side a little when he had disparaged Vangadahast, as if he was expecting something to happen to his head. I'm not sure we can finish this strange occurrences thing Maeve's got us sitting about.
I'm sure you can. Just give it some time. Maybe do something else for a bit. Something else will come up. Always does.
I just keep wanting to set them on fire.
Don't do that. Then they'll have to call me in and I'll have to beat you up.
Well, we wouldn't want that.
It'd be fun to see who'd win.
I'd bribe you with an ale.
You'd win. For what it's worth, you were asking about a Draco horn.
Yes.
I did do a little digging. Not a lot. But, well, one of the members of the local dragons is a nobleman, and he seems to think Draco horn and hunt silver, and I don't mean just any Draco horn and any hunt silver, but I mean the heir of each. They were schoolboys together once. Good friends. Then some girl came along, got between them. You know how it goes from there.
Matters of the heart can cause the most poisoned results.
I'm not saying this Draco horn heir is a actual twat. I'm just saying, you know, they've got some animosity.
Good to know. Good to know. I'll buy a round of beers. Or ale, rather.
Yeah, and he'll drink with you for a little while. Buy the second round. Eventually he'll say, well, I suppose now I'm at night I can't get too drunk. I've got things to do in the morning. Take care of yourself, Corthyndahast.
You as well. Maybe one of these days I'll learn the spell to cure hangovers.
If you can do that. Nope, whatever I was going to say is gone. Have a good evening, my friend.
Evening to you as well.
And he'll head on his way.
And I'll make my way back to the inn.
What are the rest of y'all doing at the Sign of Thunder at this point?
being fussed that she doesn't have more immediate answers to her problems.
Fair enough. Val or Del?
Would Fal know if there's any, like, well, if Curvin Mask or some sort of contact with the Iron Throne is in town, or if there's like a house that they got going on?
They don't have like a house, but what they do have are contacts that you are very used to working with. And there are like dead drops for you to leave information with them.
Okay.
Usually, if you want to contact them, you leave a dead drop, and then they will
Gotcha.
find you.
Sweet. So yeah, I will kind of peek out the door, make sure no one's, from the group is out and about, and try and quietly make my way out of the inn to go find a dead drop.
Yeah, you find one, no problem. What are you putting in?
I'll just message you something.
Okie doke. Del, are you doing anything in particular this evening?
Getting the dogs inside?
Nope. I thought he said he was back, and then he did that, and I missed it. Is there anything else anyone wants to do this evening before we end of the day, as it were?
No, I kind of feel like don't want to advance much further without Anne's point.
That's fair.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, I think we will end a little early there then.
Did I miss anything at the brewery?
He was not in for work, and we're going back the next day.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you were here for Fal and... sorry, not Fal. Kurthin and Kale drinking. Did you hear that conversation?
The tail end.
So you probably got the important part.
I will, however, note that my notes are Fig's IC notes, so none of that conversation is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I better note it down.
That's why I said something.
We're going to end here then. But unless you guys want to talk to each other, like, this is a great opportunity for you to roleplay with one another if you want to share information or discuss anything.
Well,
Just get
in that
to know
case,
each other better.
Corson would tell everybody that House Dracahorn and Hunt Silver have
I
romantic...
see, Rob. I see. Come on now.
Corthin comes back pretty drunk then, in that case, and goes to bed because he drank a lot. Probably would say no. He wouldn't even, because he knows not to make a fool of himself while drunk. He's that smart, but he's not smart enough not to get drunk.
Okay. Well, then, if there's nothing else, we will end here, and I will go through. I think everybody still has inspiration from last session, so I'm not even going to bother looking.
Yeah, I have mine.
That said, I will give you all 50 XP for your investigation so far and what you've learned.
Ooh. That should take us to 8:30.
I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you next week.